Long way. Hey, turtle nerds! Welcome to live. Welcome to no jump cuts, and welcome to straight information Q and A's. Let's try to rip through what you hopefully maybe clicked on this video for, which is going to be mitigating aggression in turtles. I just took a topic from someone on my Patreon who wanted a deeper dive, a deeper explanation as to how to mitigate aggression in turtles. And here's some fun things that I can't cut out because we're live. Them splashing me in the face, right in the face. The turks are doing that. So here, let me just really quickly put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Hello, welcome. All right, so let's chat about, thanks for joining, all 67 of y'all. Let's talk about mitigating aggression in turtles. Someone had this question on my Patreon, so I figured that I would make this video sort of explaining and going into more detail on how to mitigate aggression. Not stop it, but mitigate. First, let's talk to some people. Hello, I'm doing well, thank you. No, you can't have a turtle, you silly gooses. Hello, William. Hello, Emmett. Hello, that one crafty kid. You sound crafty. Oh, I love you too, Akesh. Thank you so much. I like to go live on here. It's a lot of fun. I need to do it more often. So let's go ahead, feed some of the critters, and talk about aggression. How much should you feed your turtles daily? I have a short on that. I believe I've uploaded it here, and I've uploaded it on my Instagram. In general, under a year old, I do every day. Over a year old, I will slow it down to about 70 to 80%, as much as they can eat. And then adult, whenever they're an adult, every 2 days, every 3 days. Hello, do I like chicken? Yes, of course. A baby must get along with a baby painted? Yeah, so good question. In considering aggression, you have to consider the species that you have. Musk turtles tend to not be as aggressive. Sorry for the loudness, that's my fan. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you let me know if y'all can hear me a-okay? Otis and Jelly. Oh, I'll show you. Otis is right down here. Can y'all hear me okay? Great. Excellent. So, someone just said, can two albino red-eared sliders go together? Red-eared sliders are a species that tend to be aggressive with one another, especially hatchlings. More so adults, though, I think. Here's the problem. Hatchlings tend to be aggressive because they think each other are food. Males tend to be aggressive because they want to breed with everything. And females are aggressive because when it's egg laying season, they get hormonal. So again, it's going to depend on the individual. But red-eared sliders are a species that are more likely to be aggressive. They just are. I don't know why. I'm not a red-eared slider. Even though I am an invasive species, Homo sapien, human. Okay? What else? What do we got? So let's feed these boogers so you guys have something to look at. A little visual stim. Can we play, roll the clip of, love your vids, thank you so much. Roll the clip of Subway Surfers. I, 21F, am a red-eared slider. Yeah, when their little heads pop out because they're crackheads. Musk turtles are usually pretty good with one another, and painted turtles are usually pretty good with one another, from what I understand. Diamondback terrapins are really some of the most tolerant. Otis and Jelly are good, as far as I know. Well, Otis I know is good. Jelly I give to a friend. So, Diamondback terrapins in the wild live in very close quarters. Very high population density. This was pre-habitat loss, pre-industrial revolution, modern development, back when their habitat was more untouched. These guys live in high population densities, meaning there's tons of terrapins in one area. In the size of, who was it? Someone said in that one little lagoon area that was relatively untouched. Hundreds. There's documented sources saying that there are hundreds, even thousands of terrapins in, an area the size of a football field. So they can't really be that aggressive when they're older. They gotta kind of stick together. How do I convince my mom to buy me a turtle? Prove to her that you can be responsible and that you will be for the 20, 30, 40, 50 years it will live. When your turtles float, that's not good. That means there's a buoyancy issue. They either ate something and filled with gas, or they have an imbalance or fluid in their lungs from pneumonia or a respiratory infection. Floating is not good. Not good at all. All right, let's keep feeding. Let's keep feeding. So, can a soft-shell turtle and a painted turtle mate? I don't think so, but I've been proven wrong before with species that end up diddling. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. I will show you guys Pipsqueak momentarily. How am I doing? Very well, thank you. How old are my turtles? The oldest animal I have is 10, 11, something like that. All right, and so that's how we're mitigating. If your floating turtles are eating and everything, then that's a little strange. Who just had a good question? What do you do when, so, mitigating aggression, keeping them well fed, keeping a lot of visual barriers, keeping them in a large enough enclosure so different things can trigger aggression. Moving habitats, moving spaces, upgrading or downsizing, or just adding a piece of driftwood can set them off depending. Ways to combat it are by going bigger, adding more plants, keeping them more well fed, and changing the type of food. I used to only feed my terrapins Reptomin, and the babies were aggressive with one another. I switch over to Missouri Aquatic Turtle Diet and Zoo Med hatchling formula. And I don't know, I keep them in these concrete mixing tubs with this Marineland 3-foot bamboo I have in my Amazon storefront if you want to order. No issues. For years I've had no issues. I don't know, it's very strange. Common signs that they are being aggressive with one another are that they'll curl their tails in. They'll have nipped tails. Only one of my terrapins has like a slightly nipped tail, and it's because I left out of town for like 3 or 4 days and didn't feed the babies, and the babies can get nippy. So I keep them, keep the babies well fed. Knowing the species, like I said, I know terrapins are not crazy aggressive with one another. They aren't. Painted turtles are usually pretty good. Map turtles are pretty good. So in the hatchlings, like I said, their tails will be nipped. In adults, the rears of the legs or the backs of the feet will usually be nipped or scabbed or scarred. I have some critters in quarantine right now that one of them had, she came with a big fat scar on her back foot. How can you tell if a turtle's a boy or a girl? Great question. Come here. Let me show you. If you guys want me, I hate self-promoing like crazy, but if you want me guaranteed to see your message, there's the little super chat feature thing. It's like $1 or whatever you want, or whatever you think the question's worth. That's freaking, I will see it and answer it 100% if y'all hit that. Or if I recognize any patrons. Like if you're on my Patreon, I keep all of those people in my brain. Male versus female. Depends on the species. But number one way is that their tail, look how fat that tail is. That is a male. Look at the size of that tail. Compared to, this one's also a male. But, well, actually I'm not 100% sure. Much smaller and skinnier tail. Try not to drip everywhere. That is the guaranteed way. Varies with species. Sliders, painted turtles, map turtles, the males will be a lot smaller, have smaller heads, and have longer claws. Terrapins especially. How much do they weigh? Some. I'm not sure. I haven't weighed them. Some people keep track of their weights with more rare critters, but I don't do that. How much is a baby soft shell? I don't know. I don't sell baby soft shells. Moving on. Mitigating aggression. Visual barriers. Larger enclosures. High protein foods and distractions. Feeder fish, guppies, varying their diet. Crickets, fish, ghost shrimp. All of these things keep them distracted. So for example, down here, let's see if I can get y'all down here. Do not go with underground reptiles. They are not known for being a good company. I would certainly not do that. Here, let's check. I'm going to pull you guys out of my stand, and we're going to take a look-see at some Oh, hello. Okay. Pipsqueak. Baby Pipsqueak. I got Pipsqueak a friend. Pipsqueak now lives with another critter of a different species. So by Molly, to try and mitigate aggression, because I know that Pipsqueak might be a little nippy and hasn't really dealt with other turtles, interacted with them much. I added some live plants. I added ghost shrimp in here, and I did a big fat water change, and I added a bunch more plants. Also, I've been keeping Pipsqueak more well fed, and there's the new critter right there in the back. Let's try to give them some food. My apologies, guys. I'm trying to keep the camera more stable. Let's see if we can give me one moment to set up the tripod and talk a little bit more about aggression. So hold on. Let's move this over here. And here, where's Pipsqueak? Check out the Pip. Check out Pip Pip. Pip Pip Pip. I think that the enunciation in the word Pipsqueak, she has learned to associate with. Okay, I need 2 hands for this. Bear with me. Hi, Otis. Okay, I need to keep rocking and rolling. All right, here, I'll put y'all in this thing. There we go. Why didn't I do that before? Okay, we go up, almost there. Bear with me, we're almost here. And now we pan down, and there we are. What do you feed your 2 baby painted turtles? I like Zoo Med hatchling formula. Zoo Med was nice enough to send me a butt ton of their hatchling formula. And not because they sent it to me, but because I use it. I've been promoting this forever. And it's a high protein food that I find they are not, I don't know, they're not aggressive when I feed this to them. I don't know why. But, again, it's going to depend on the individual. Is UVA light for turtles, UVA options? I'm not going to lie, I'm not a foremost expert on the lighting, because once my animals hit like 4 inches, I take them outside and give them natural lighting. Because, in my opinion, that is simply the best. So there's Pip Dip, and let's see if the new friend will come up. There he is in the back. This fella is going to be an integral part of a new video that I'm doing. Pipsqueak, come here. Hey, don't go eating his food. Yeah, go get it. You guys see him in the back? Can y'all guess what type of species that is? Right back there with Pipsqueak. How many do I have in total? I don't know, actually. 15? 16? We're trying to do less. Less is more. Here you go, buddy. Here you go, little friend. Why is there no UVB on Pipsqueak? I do have it. It's all the way up at the top. For little Pip. It is not a musk. Pipsqueak's a concentric, but that critter's not a concentric Diamondback terrapin. Maybe we'll feed some of the other fellas as well. And then we're going to go outside and maybe take a look at some of the other critters. So, Serene, you got it. Serene has got it. So Pipsqueak's getting large. I'll pick up Pip in a moment. But the point being, housing too many animals in too small of an environment without enough of the plants, this is Marineland 3-foot bamboo, can lead to aggression. I had a female red-eared slider that would only get aggressive for 2 months out of the year when she would be laying eggs. Too many males can also cause aggression. The factors that mitigate aggression are keeping them well fed, larger amounts of space, and visual barriers. The more you do these things and keeping them distracted, the better odds you will have at stopping aggressive behavior. Terrapins, I hear that some people have really bad issues with them being aggressive. I do not. I have not in years. Here you go, Pip. Here you go, Shinji. Go ahead, buddy. What's my favorite rarest turtle? I don't really have a favorite rarest turtle. My favorite turtle is the terrapin, just plain and simple. The Diamondback terrapin. So that is about it. Do you guys have any questions on aggression? More so, I'm trying to keep things on topic and wrapped up fairly quickly, just so I don't, sit here and rant for 4 hours. But I would love to answer some questions in the last few minutes if you guys have them. This has just been unhinged, unfiltered, unlike my enclosures This is unfiltered. Ha 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 ha. I'm so funny. Oh, Pip, come back. I'm sorry, friend. Why does your turtle not eat a lot? Try increasing the temperature in the enclosure. You have a question? Please ask a question. Let's see if we can check on. So check this out. I have these critters up here. Where should you get turtles? Try to find breeders on Facebook groups is what I find to be pretty darn good. Or just talk to individuals. You know, like my friend Greg has a lot of turtle species. Like if I need, say, a spotted turtle, I know I can go to my friend Chris Leone, Garden State Tortoise. A lot of my friend Michael, Shelled Friends 77 on Instagram. Michael Swami, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm sorry, Michael, I love you. You know, find a person. Don't order from a freaking website. Especially not the terrapins. Especially because there's poachers and there are really bad flippers and really bad people that are like all over the morph market right now with terrapins. All over. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy. All right, we'll give you guys a little bit more food and then we're gonna head out. How long does it take to lose their scoots? Oh, it takes... Mine don't start shedding until they're usually like 2 years old. Then they start to shed. How long does a turtle stay on land for? It depends on how long it wants to stay on land. If it wants to bask and sit up, you know, the important thing is to give them the option to stay on land for as long as they like. And I say that while keeping these animals without like a full land. I mean, I have this spot. I just did a water change, so the water's a little high. But, oh, sorry, bumped into y'all. You know, under 4 inches, y'all know I don't usually give them a land spot until they're about this size. And these guys are almost ready to go out in the pond. Yay! Yay! How different is the care for these compared to red ear sliders? Red ear sliders are way more bask intensive. So, you know, I say the no basking thing, but I know that red ear sliders like to bask a lot more than terrapins, and I have a lot of experience with the terrapins, so I know that this works for painted turtles. I know that it works for box turtles if you have shallow water. I know that this works for, I think, map turtles as well, spotted turtles as well, but as for sliders, I think that they can and maybe even should have basking because I see them bask in the wild as babies and their shells don't get all misshapen if they don't. Look at these critters. I raised these both since they were itty bitty little babies, and it's very rewarding to see these two young men grow. How big can turtles get? Depends on the species. They can get very large. And hello, someone says, do I think Petco and PetSmart are overpriced? Yes, they're a business. That's why I also say stay away from websites, because that's people in a business. You don't want someone in a business that's looking to make a profit necessarily. You want someone who happens to they have adults, they love their animals, they happen to have babies. So, you know, I'm going to be changing things up, and I'm hoping to give away some terrapins later this year. 2 good homes, of course. Gotta have some good. Let's go ahead and pull this out here. All right, we're freehanding now. I am freehandling the camera. Here, I'm gonna drop this ring light a little more. How often do I change the water? When will I stream next on you? Okay, I change their water every week and a half or so. Do I have anything other than turtles? Nope, I had a puppy, he passed away. He's the light of my life. That still is weird. Do I finger feed them? Yes, I do. Who donated a super chat that I missed? How do you tell when to stop putting plants in? Tell when? Oh, okay. Do you mean, also thank you, Japheth. I appreciate you. So how do I know when to stop putting plants in? Do you mean these fake plants? So that's a good question. That's a really good question that I've never gone over. I do about 50-50 plants. So about half of this space is plants and the other half is kind of swimming. That's usually how I do it. See this area nice wide open, and then the other half is more plants. And I'll make this point. The younger they are and smaller they are, the more plants I give them in order to try to avoid, you know, drowning hazards and whatnot, and give them more spaces to hide. The larger they get, the better swimmers they are. Hi, Pipsqueak. So when we upgrade, excuse this quarantine setup, you know, they're in a lot better shape and a lot less plants that they have in here compared to, those other enclosures for the babies. Pipsqueak, I know exactly how old she is. She is coming up on a year old. And that teeny tiny, but she should be growing at a pretty good pace now. These guys I just am keeping separate in quarantine just to be safe. I quarantine my critters now before adding them to the pond or whatever it may be. Let's take a few more Kestians if you have them. So these critters are beautiful, lovely little baby terps. And let's see. Oh, sorry. Freaked out. I have a short on how to tell male from female turtle, and I have, some long form videos at it. Thank you, Yona. I appreciate you. I'm just doing my thing. I'm doing my best. Hi, Pipsqueak. Pipsqueak, can I pick you up, baby? Oh, I don't like cichlids with turtles. Not one bit. I think cichlids can be aggressive, and I think that they can poke the eyes out. So I don't like that. The link for the plastic plants, yes. Wolf Craig, if I donate the most to your Patreon and show you my setups, could I possibly get one? I'll even start doing my own vids and give you shoutouts. So the tier of Patreon, I think I'm going to go ahead and redo the tiers and just make it, a flat $5 tier. So there's no $1, but there's no $20. You know what I mean? It's just $5. I think I might be updating that. I'm going to take a poll from the current patrons and see what they think. Regardless, I try to do like a kind of pay whatever you think I'm worth kind of thing. So if you're on there, even just on the $1 tier, like usually you're entered in the giveaway. And that's not announced officially yet, but there probably will be one by the end of the summer. A friend of mine just has some terrapins. He's got two, a pair, a male and a female, and they just had some babies, and he does not want the babies. He's like, just make sure they go to good homes. So that's probably the plan. 10-gallon tank for your 2 red ear sliders. So, Angela, I like this question because let's try to put it back on topic as far as, thank you, HW Lego. These containers are only around 10 gallons. However, I like the layout of them a lot more than an aquarium per se, because I think that it holds the water more distributed evenly and gives them a larger layout. So the 10 gallons isn't just straight up and down, it's more spread out. So even though it's only a couple inches deep, which I like also because it prevents drowning hazards, whatchamacallit? Let me gather my thoughts. What am I saying? I like the footprint, okay? I like the footprint. So underground reptiles, sure. I know for a fact. Oh, hello, Ollie and Thello. So underground reptiles sort of fits in the genre of wheel and deal horror stories of animals that have not look. And this is my opinion, and I'm not stating this as fact for legal reasons. Just I've heard horror stories of the wrong animals coming sick, imported animals with parasites, blah, blah, blah. This from American reptile distributors as well, and they have terrapins every now and again. I'm not sure if those are captive bred one freaking bit. And the owner of that company keeps making fake or other morph market accounts and trying to sell. It's because they're just more wheel and deal type, those websites. And I don't like that one bit. Not one bit. You're better off just waiting. Where did I get my basking duck? This one was sent to me by Zilla. It's the floating. It's not floating now because I think there's like a hairline crack in it that causes it to sink. Okay, live plants are better for your turtles, except diamondback terrapins, because these guys, the last time I used live plants, they got sick, and it's easier when I'm doing full water changes because they need such high water quality. I'm doing water changes every week and a half, and so that'll usually kill my plants. So I'm trying out a little hornwort here, but got the wrong animal when you ordered from them. Yep, that's just common. I've heard that happening all the time. So I think I will get a different pet. Maybe. How many different types? Not many. Just terrapins and a Chinese box turtle and a new fella back here. So I have a video that will be coming out like next month that I'm working my tail off on, that I need to develop custom code for, that I've already done, and I'm building a custom app for because I am insane. Let's feed these guys a little bit more. And so that's taking a lot of my time. That's why I didn't want to edit a video today. Razorbacks usually go pink like that a little bit. They just do. How can I have endangered animals? Great question. These guys are a threatened species, so not technically endangered, and their possession of these critters is determined on the state level. So according to South Carolina, which is where I am, I can keep the non-native subspecies, which these guys are not. Kelso, yes, I did have to get rid of my spotted turtles after the whole moving fiasco, moving to towards the mountains of SC. Have I ever killed one of my turtles? Of course. Yeah, I've had issues. I've had drownings. I've had, fungus issues. Well, not really. That wasn't a fungus. I've had respiratory issues. Western painted turtle in 250? Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Hi, beautiful. Come here. This little young lady came to me with shell rot, so I'm trying to fatten her up. And can I get more spotted turtles? Yeah, I'm working on getting some permits and moving elsewhere, and the state that I'd like to go to allows spotted turtles. So I'm going to work on it. All right, guys. Let's have some final questions, closing remarks, maybe. As far as aggression, you want visual barriers, you want high-protein foods, you want more space, and you want to be wary of the species you're keeping. Less is more as far as animals as well. The less critters you have... Okay, so aggression comes down to this. Ready? The TLDR. Interactions per unit of time. Interactions per unit of time, right? The more animals you have in an enclosure, the more interactions they'll have. The less visual barriers, the more interactions they'll have. And the more interactions they have, if there's a 2% chance of one of them taking a test bite out of the other or being aggressive, the more interactions they have, that, it's more likely to happen. Even though it only happens 2% of the time, look at that little baby! It's more likely to happen. So visual barriers, keep them away from each other. A larger enclosure, protein-heavy foods. Pipsqueak! Ow! Wasn't expecting you, psycho. Why are you like this? Oh, my hand smells like food. That's why. Homie, I fed you 3 times today, like actual 3 times today. You are crazy, dude. I'm lucky he does this with me and not with little Shinji back there. Do I have a snapping turtle? Nope. Oh, I would love one though. I think we, might be making a little bit, some changes maybe coming soon, hopefully. Yeah, I brought this. What enrichment do I recommend? Ow! Gee whiz! Dude, okay. The dried shrimp that I have in the feeding tub, freaking heckin' freak. They are sharp. Y'all ever get stabbed by dried shrimp? It's insane. I'm going to put these over here so they soften up a little for Pip. And let's throw these. They ate enough today. All right. So, how long do turtles live for? Depends on the species. Why is Pipsqueak mean? Pipsqueak isn't mean. My hand smells like shrimp. And Pip is always in the market for food. So disregard this. How territorial are they? Diamondback terrapins are really not territorial. Which one is my favorite turtle? I don't have favorites. I don't pick favorites. My project? Othello. Wait. Wolf Craig. Does terrapins have a stronger bite than sliders? I'm not sure. I've seen terrapins draw blood. I've seen sliders draw blood. So I don't know. What enrichment do I recommend? Live fish. No, that's okay, HW Lego. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for stopping by. You don't have to apologize for having to leave, my friend. Of course. Pip, come here. Let's get you. Once we hit like 30 minutes, we're going to dip. Pip. Come here, you goose. All right. Anyways, enrichment. Live. Yeah, Pipsqueak has gotten very strong. Live crickets, live bearing fish, like platies or guppies, mollies, ghost shrimp. I put ghost shrimp in here. They're gone. of course. That's about it. All right, guys. So, if you learned something, subscribe. If you want to see more, give it a thumbs up. I inverse that, but just trust me. You want to put visual abilities too aggressive for the fish? Try upgrading enclosures, adding more plants, and then hopefully the fish have a better chance to survive. Can you see Pipsqueak? I showed him. I'm going to pop off here. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you all. If you want to support me directly, Patreon, please, so I can continue to do this. Thank you guys again. Bye. You've been a sub for 2 years. I love you. I'll catch you. Okay, bye. How to end this